morning, my fellow weirdos. It's one of those days that everything happening in the world is just too overwhelming. We finally have a gorgeous day without, at 7 o'clock we've got sun, no overcast, no humidity. It's hard to enjoy, but I'm going to try, because if we don't grab every small ounce of happiness and joy and beauty, all of our spirits are going to continue to flag and falter and not be on even keel every day. Republicans in Congress are trying to get the Democrats to write selling off. That's part of the big bend the Americans over and not give them dinner bill. $250 million acres of national parks. And I'm not saying this as an overly proud American, but there's national parks in all countries and they're stunning, but even the people that put together all of those, compile them, say that some of the most stunning ones are in North America, and particularly America, because we just have such a large area of land. So we have biodiversity in one country that doesn't feel like one country united right now at all. And just pretty much all of that is in the West, Pacific Northwest, in the West. I just if and I'm sure he keeps saying, "Oh, if I weren't president, there wouldn't be a war if I had been president." Sorry. Um, yeah, well, Iran and Pakistan aren't only fighting, they've already fired at each other. Iran and Israel fighting. None of that would have happened if you weren't president. Do you think that would have happened if Kamala had been president? No. She would have been willing to talk and discuss, unlike Donald. And they keep lying about the No Kings rallies and protests. They keep citing 5 million. That's the number of the hands off at April 19th. That's the number that turned out for that. And back then, they didn't want to admit it was 5 million. They didn't want to admit that. They kept giving another thing. Oh, there was only a couple 100,000 people, that type of thing. Now they're using the actual number from the April 19th protest, 5 million, 5.2 million. And now they're saying, oh, that's how many were at this one. When in fact there were 13 million, according to the Alt National Park Service. And I trust them more than anybody else because that is who a lot of the protest activist type of groups and will report to. So and the visibility brigade over the visibility bridges that started in Jersey and are like come out. I've seen some in Connecticut and New Hampshire, and it's just spreading all over now. Anybody, any state is taking is finding pedestrian uh, bridges over freeways. Some are covered from weather, some are not. It doesn't matter. Now they're using the number that actually they denied back in April of 5.2 million. When we kept saying it was 5.2, they kept saying no, it wasn't. Now they're saying it's not 13 million, it's only 5 million. When if the last one was 5 million, which is official, and this one was so much bigger in every state, how the fuck could it be 5 million showed up this time? They're not doing that by accident. They are pushing that on purpose. They are pushing that on all the media or suppressing information, and they're not going to alt national parks to get any information. They're not going to the correct ones that should have the most accurate. The fact is, and they don't want to admit it, 13 fucking million people. That is why you're not hearing that number. That is why people like me are being called in comments when we correct it on Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel or something like that. I would say it wasn't 5 million, it was 13 million. Go check Alt National Park Service. And they're doing that. They're doing that because they don't want to admit how many people are rebelling against them. Do not let them do it. Keep telling them. Alt National Park Service says it was 13.1 or 4 million, something like that. Okay? That is the correct number. 13 million. 5 million on hands off. No Kings, 13 million. Don't let them fucking skew that number, people. I am not hearing enough people saying no. The correct number is almost 3 times what you're saying. They didn't want to admit that in April, and they don't want to admit it now. And the only reason is because they know our We the People movement is growing. And it's getting stronger while they are fucking weakening. Other countries are like, please, please, I don't know you. Yeah. Hardy, when he released the greeting to the G7, conveniently, we didn't see Donald coming up that little hill and being greeted. Ah, they must have ran out of time, and only one had to be deleted. And right now, he needs to be removed from office. And if Vance takes over, and he doesn't want to play intelligently like our country is supposed to, we can remove him from power too. Listen, people. The next elections, Jersey has the primary for governor. Other places do, but I'm talking the next time. Representatives and senators are coming up. It's 26. We're halfway. You think, oh, 26 is a year away. No, 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 no. 26 was a year away at last presidential election. We're 6 months past that already. Yeah. Which means we're 6 months from starting to see who's going to be running, because I really think we need to get the Republicans out of the Senate and out of the House. And that goes for all you states, too. You all have state governments. Jersey's fighting that right now. We cannot let control be given in voting to fascists, Nazis, white supremacists, pedophiles, rapists, criminals. That's the Republican Party. Now, I'm not saying the Democrats do not have failings, and they do not have some corruption. Number one, not on this level. Yes, any corruption is fucked up. Any corruption, I agree. But that's a surreal thing. That's a world that doesn't happen because people are people. But for the majority of it, it's the Republicans that are not just doing like the criminal stuff, but the pedophile stuff, the trafficking stuff, the rape stuff. That is not who most of America is. Because I'll tell you one thing. 13 million people. And there was a lot more who wanted to. But they're afraid. Do not be afraid. Because the ones in the masks are the fucking cowards. They're carrying weapons and a mask. See, now they say, well, what's the difference? You guys wore masks all over the place for 2 years. We didn't know who anybody was. Yeah, we weren't carrying weapons either. And we weren't shielded up in protective gear whilst wearing those masks. And therein lies the fucking difference, you fucking morons! Everybody wanted to wear masks and now nobody wants to. What the hell? You can't decide. Yeah, somebody said that. Trying to do illegal things and wearing a mask. Trying not to get sick with a communicable virus that can kill you whilst wearing a mask. Yeah, they're pretty even. Yeah, they're equal. They're even. Yeah. See, that's a lot like Donald putting up those fucking incredibly massive, unnecessary flagpoles because he's compensating for his little mushroom penis. His little teeny microscopic, immature, little micro penis. By putting up huge flagpoles and mentioning the word erection. Tell me that wasn't fucking Freudian. We've really needed big flagpoles at the White House for a long time. Are you trying to say none of the presidents have had a penis? Or they just don't have that big dick energy? See, because you have big dick energy, but see, the dick part of it is not that you have a large penis. It's that you have that compensation thing going on for the big dick energy. That's what big dick energy is. It's trying to tell everybody you have a big dick when you don't. That is what big dick energy actually is. They just try to say it's something else. Big dick energy just means I'm overcompensating and I'm trying to tell the entire world that my penis is not small and stubby. Methinks thou dost protest too much.